Talk about Michigan doing the damn thing. They had three quarterbacks play today, man, and they put the smack down on Western Michigan, man. And shout out to Michigan State beating Northwestern yesterday, man. Too. We talk a little bit back about that towards the end, but look, it was a good game, most definitely. K McNamara, he was 9 for 11 early on. Excuse me, he was 9 for 11 early on. He had a good throw. Had a great throw to Ronnie Bill. It looked like on like a little sluggo route. It looked like little. Well, no, it was more like a deep fade. I can't really explain what it was, but K played well, but JJ McCarthy arms stole the show in garbage time, and yeah, McCarthy he went 4 for 6, 80 yards, and a TD across his body. Matter of fact, he scrambled, broke a tackle, and slung a TD outside the he was outside the hashes, slung it outside the hashes. He slung it outside the hashes, and I think playing McCarthy might be a mistake by putting more pressure on K McNamara. McNamara got a good arm too, but I mean McCarthy got that elite. He got that elite Zach Wilson, Stafford, Flacco type of arm, right? And see, with a lot of power throwers, the issue for them is touch and accuracy. Some more touch and accuracy, but Western Michigan kept it close early on, man. It was 17 in the first quarter. Michigan scored, and Western Michigan came back down, either kicked the field goal or scored, and their quarterback was 20 for 37. Well, he's 20 for 37 right now. He's still playing. Well, it's only a couple more seconds left, but I don't know. He had 191 yards, one TD. He didn't throw a pick. They had some good plays, but the asterisk in this game is they lost their best receiver. He went out with an injury. We lost Ronnie Bill. That's going to be huge playing Washington. I think they play Washington at home next week. Let me double check that. Sorry, they play Washington at home. Pac-12 game. Ain't the greatest program, but they play them at home. And Western Michigan played. They had a solid game. Didn't have. Let me see. Not sure they had any turnovers. Almost a couple picks was out of there, but yeah, they didn't turn the ball over. They didn't turn the ball over. The turning point for them was when they top receiver went out. He definitely a pro caliber receiver. Might be a star, man. They lost the receiver Dwayne Estrus last year too. He was a really good receiver, man. But Kalamazoo and Michigan not that far apart, but they rushed 126 yards. And Michigan, man, was just Blake Crewman. He had some good run. He had a run on the reverse. Had a run for a touchdown. He a sophomore, so there were some issues with Zach Charbonnet, and I really like Charbonnet as a freshman. He was deep, but he kept sharing carries with what's old boy name, Haskins, and somebody else, and he was one of the top recruits coming out, and they lost him. But man, he went to UCLA, had a great game. I think they played like Hawaii last week or something. He had a great game. But Blake Crewman, he from Marshall, Virginia, 5'8", 200 pounds. He had a great year. He had a great game last year, and we gonna need that speed from him. The speed that he showed today is perfect complement to. He's a perfect complement to Haskins. Haskins is a guy. He 13, 70 yards and one TD. He's one of them dudes that he reminds me of Kamara as far as his elusiveness. He don't look 6'1", 220. He looks 6'1", but that's tall for a running back. He don't look the 220, but he wear the weight pretty good. And his elusiveness on that touchdown, he put his third wheel down and kept his balance. He's very elusive. That's what I mean versus like Kamara. Kamara probably want the most elusive back in the National Football League. Haskins is basically the most elusive back at Michigan. And AJ Henney ran one carry, 74 yards, one touchdown. Ronnie Bell was that guy, one catch, 76 yards, one TD. He also had another catch with one hand that they called back or pass interference, and it wasn't. That was a bad call, but he ended up getting injured on the punt return. Yup, he got injured on the punt. And what flashed in my head, I'm like, why they got their star receiver fielding punts, and it was a great return, but he ended up getting injured. So that was the issue with that, man. But I mean, he was walking on his own power on the sideline gingerly. So, but That don't mean nothing. That could be an ACL or MCL, but he might more likely he might be gone for a little while. But and also he a senior, so that hurt even more. When you got a guy that's a senior, his last hurrah, what's going through his head is that I should have I should have went pro and all that. But he definitely a talented receiver, and I think he had a future. I think he had a future in the National Football League. It still might, the way medicine has advanced. When you're talking about knee injuries and stuff, is drastically different from back in the day. Like when Booby Miles from Friday Night Lights blew his leg out, it was pretty much over with. But they had Dalen Ball when he caught one for 69-yard touchdown, one touchdown, and Blake Cromer he caught 2 catches, 22 yards, 1 touchdown. So I think he took a short pass to the house. So I mean, great game. I think McNamara he played well. He played it safe, but I think McCarthy arm stole the show. McCarthy, throwing from one side of the field to the other side of the field. I think J.J. McCarthy, he stole the show, man, with his arm talent, with his electric arm talent, with his athleticism. I mean, Jim Harbaugh said, they was neck and neck. He gave a nod to McNamara, but Harbaugh tend to favor veteran quarterbacks. But McCarthy made one mistake on the screen. He got caught for a fumble. I think they held that up. Even though it was a forward pass, but things young quarterbacks, you gotta get comfortable with coverages, line audibles, and just the speed of the game. But I also think it's the right decision to have him sit for a year. I'm surprised they didn't redshirt him with Bowman and a few other Valeri, the quarterback. He just did some runs earlier. I'm surprised they didn't redshirt him, but I think he's too talented to redshirt. And something happened to McNamara. I think you could play like 2 or 3 games if you redshirt, and you can have your eligibility, something like that. But like I said before, phenomenal talent, but I just think he needed experience. And McNamara was a 4-star talent coming out of Reno, Nevada. So, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at that. So, overall, we go to Washington. It'll be a step in the right direction. Every little step, definitely be a step in the right direction. And I just think, man, I can't really get a feel on it. On McNamara, he do a lot of safe passes. He got a deep pass that was really good, but it's gonna take some time. And Washington, we play them next week. They play Montana, so I think Washington will give us a better gauge. Most definitely, we'll be able to gauge them a lot better. And like I said, McNamara gonna have to. He got some pressure on him, kind of like Tom Brady had some pressure on him with Drew Henson. Every time they try to throw Drew Henson in. But that's only gonna make McNamara a better quarterback with McCarthy. But I think playing McCarthy, I thought that was a mistake. Just because he's gonna put more pressure on McNamara. But pressure make diamonds or bust pipes. And I think for McNamara, I think he a guy that's gonna make him a diamond. So I think it's gonna make him step his game up. It wasn't a bad game, but him didn't turn the ball over. Had great accuracy and I'm happy. I like him, man. He tough and he got it out the mud. But yesterday, Michigan State they defeated Northwestern 38-21. They scored 14 unanswered points in the first quarter, and really that was the difference. Them Northwestern tied for 7-7 in the second quarter. They outscored Northwestern 7-0. In third quarter was too late. Northwestern outscored them 14-10. But that first quarter was the difference. And Kenneth Walker, the third from the Wake Forest transfer, he broke off with a 75 run with the first carry. And for Peyton Thorne, who proved himself down the stretch with Michigan State last year and proved himself in camp to win the job, that's all he needed. That was his comfort blanket when Walker, the third from Wake Forest, ran that or transfer Wake Forest ran that 75-yard. And then he looked back. So like I said before, that's not gonna happen every week for Michigan State. But we were able to run the ball, and I think they program going in the right direction. If you want to be honest, it's definitely going in the right direction. The head coach who came from Colorado, played at Michigan State, definitely going in the right direction. But they play was it Youngstown State next week? But and then they go into Miami, which if Miami can beat Alabama, which we all know that's not happening, that's about to kick off now. That might be a game that can catapult them into the top 10. All right. So they have Miami versus Nebraska versus Western Kentucky versus at Rutgers at Indiana. Then they're home versus Michigan. Then Purdue at Purdue at home versus Maryland. At Ohio State, then they at Penn State. So, like I said before, that was a really good game for them. Like they coach trying to build in the trenches. They got some good players coming in. So, with Michigan State, the sky's the limit for them, man. I think they got the right guy running that program. They definitely got the right. I'm gonna look at his name. I'm sorry, I forget his name. Mel Tucker. They got the right guy running that program, man. I think he won national champion on the Alabama staff too. So, and they play Miami this year, man. That should be fun, man. But you know, Big Ten football when it was at its peak in the '90s and early 2000s was about interior line play. That's how we dominated the country. If we did dominate the country, was with being physical up front. And I think Mel Tucker building that at Michigan State. I feel better about Mel Tucker than I do Jim Harbaugh, but maybe that's because Jim Harbaugh on the ropes. I think maybe because Jim Harbaugh on the ropes. Ow, my neck, my back, my neck and my back. So we got Wisconsin is down 16-10 at home to Penn State. That would be a good win for Penn State. We got a couple people started off versus conference opponents. So that's always tricky when you play conference opponents. That's always tricky. So let me know what you guys think. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate everybody that supports the channel. Want to make a financial donation? Cash App CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Other than that, man, everybody say you can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Make a donation. Best way to donate: thumbs up, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Check out the college football playlist. Let me know what you guys thought about Michigan today. And them in Michigan State off on a good foot. And hopefully they can keep it going on. Michigan State will probably win next week versus Youngstown State. They in Ohio. And Michigan got a tough game. Probably a really, I don't want to say tough, pretty good game. Judgment game for Jim Harbaugh versus Washington. And then the week after next, Michigan State play Miami. Miami about to play right now versus Alabama. That's going to be a great game. Appreciate it. A great beatdown. I got Alabama stumping Miami out. But let me know what you guys see in the comment section. Peace.